Hello, everyone.
Hi, and
Hi.
welcome. Our special guest here, Steph, is joining us for our news episode today.
Yeah, we're a trio today.
Yes, we
Yeah.
are.
And I don't know, Steph, do you keep up with the nowadays news of true crime?
Not too much, unless it's like really big newsworthy stuff. I usually don't follow too frequently. Sometimes things pop up, but not too often.
Well, we'll have to see if you know any of these. I'll be curious if she knows the one that you're covering, Kirsten, that I'm thinking of, because that one's been in the news
Yeah, it's
a
been
lot.
pretty heavily in the news, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see if
And all
you.
over Facebook, and yeah.
Yeah, that one's been
Hmm.
crazy. So we'll see at the end. Maybe you tell us if you knew about any of these.
All
Yeah.
right, sounds good.
All right, I'm starting us off. So I am going to be covering Malquan Tyreek Hawkins. On February 6th, 2016, in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, police were called to a hotel where a man was found drowned in the resort pool. The local police and the coroner began collecting evidence at the scene, filling out finding out that this John Doe was not a guest at the hotel, nor was a personal vehicle located in the area. No one had reported a young man missing that matched the victim's description. There was also no ID found with what few belongings that they did find in the area. The coroner collected uh, DNA and fingerprints evidence that they could, in hopes, ID this young man, whether it was now or in the future. All the info that they had was entered into the unidentified persons system, but unfortunately, this case went cold for 9 years.
Hmm.
So, since 2016, the body of the quote, Horry County John Doe, as it became known as, waited to be identified. With newer developments in forensics in 2023, the DNA of John Doe was then sent to Ortham, located in Woodland, Texas. A new DNA profile was developed that was able to help police locate a relative of this victim. A woman in North Carolina was located and DNA was compared, leading to the positive identification of Malquan Tyreek Hawkins. The woman found was his mother, who put Malquan up for adoption when he was a baby. She lived only 3 hours from Myrtle Beach at the time. Malquan ended up aging out of the system, but after that, there is not much found on him. Horry County Coroner Tamara Willard is quoted saying, quote, as an infant, Malquan was taken into DSS custody, adopted at a very early age, but again taken into DSS custody as a teenager. Then aging out of the North Carolina foster care system. We believe he last lived in New Hanover County area, but has ties to Edgecombs and Nash counties. We welcome any information from viewers about Malquan and any ties he may have had to Horry County. The information could answer questions investigators and his biological family have. Additionally, we want to thank Malquan's biological family. They always hoped to find him, but never thought it would be under these circumstances. They
That's
claimed
it.
him and welcomed him back home. End quote.
Oh,
Yeah. We don't know why he was there at the hotel that day, how he got there, or what caused him to drown. Malquan was 22 years old at the time of his death.
Right, because a hotel pool, no one witnessed him drowning? Like, there was no other
Right?
guest at the pool?
But I like this
Unless it
was
was, like, overnight or something.
February 6th.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it is
That's true. I
it
would
is
be in a
South
pool.
Carolina. I get it. And I didn't read that this was an indoor pool.
Mm-hmm.
But you can
well,
still, I mean, we have days where you can be swimming in winter. Our pools don't close here, especially at like apartment complexes and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I bet
Unless
nobody
it's
was at the
pretty
pool.
well heated, I'm sure that water is pretty cold, regardless.
Probably, yeah. Yeah. It had to have been heated. There's no way. I mean, maybe
I don't know,
not. I
even
don't
when
know.
pools are heated, I think they're freezing.
It's true. You
In
are old.
summer temperatures.
yeah.
It's just cold.
It's just always cold.
Yeah. I don't
I'm
think heat
guessing
pools exist.
February 6th. Who would have been there? Do you know what I mean? How many people
Right.
are really at the pool on February 6th is what I'm
Mm-hmm.
guessing, is that maybe it was so uncrowded, like not
Mm-hmm.
nobody there to
Or
even
even
witness.
vacationing there.
Yeah.
It's a pretty slow season.
Yeah. So we don't know why he was there.
I'm a bit surprised though, with it being 2016 when this occurred, that there wasn't even cameras. Like
That's
cameras were
true.
a thing. Like
Yeah.
especially if it's going to be
There
at a
should have
pool.
been.
Yeah, yeah. But like you think that there would be a camera at least directed at the pool, just in case, you know, just for their insurance. You know.
I couldn't find in all my research which hotel it even was.
Hmm.
But I am guessing if it is one he is sneaking into, swimming in the pool, and we have a lot of them down here, it is definitely probably just a rundown hotel that they're not like investing that kind of money in and like having proper security and things like that, is what my guess is. But I could not find which hotel it was, to be honest.
Mm, okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if I don't know if they didn't provide the hotel because it's a closed down hotel that doesn't matter anymore, or if they were just trying to protect this hotel. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Sad either way.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, I have Rebecca Park. So this is the case we talked about in the beginning. I've been following this pretty closely in the news, and it's not over yet. So maybe we can share another update later on after a trial happens.
I want to know that trial.
But I didn't even know, from what I've been seeing and hearing, I didn't even know all the details, and it's going to get pretty shocking.
All right.
So Rebecca Park is a 22-year-old missing female, or was a 22-year-old missing female from Manton, Michigan. Park was last seen around 11:30 p.m. on Monday, November 3rd, 2025, getting into the passenger seat of a dark-colored vehicle outside of her biological mother's home on South 21 and a half Road in Boone Township.
No
Rebecca's
way.
biological mother. Do you know that
I
area?
I just vacationed there.
Oh, in Michigan?
Oh.
Oh, Michigan. I thought you said Boone Township, and no, I thought it was North Carolina. I am so sorry.
Oh no,
I'm left field over
this
here.
is Michigan.
Michigan. I apologize. Why did I think it was North Carolina when you're telling? Not even you saying it when I was reading it in the news. I thought it was North Carolina. Hot damn.
This is Michigan.
Michigan. Okay. All right. We're in
Yeah.
Michigan, Boone County. Go.
Rebecca's biological mom, Courtney Bartholomew, who's 40 years old, gave Rebecca up for adoption when she was an infant. An important thing to note is Rebecca was 38 weeks pregnant when she went missing, with a due date of November
Mm.
18th. Park was last seen wearing a black coat, light blue jeans, and gray shoes, and was carrying a black bag. She is described as 5 feet 2 inches tall and weighing 140 pounds. Her sister, Kimberly Park, 21, reported Rebecca missing on November 4th. Rebecca's fiance, 43-year-old Richard Fowler, and she's 22,
Yep.
was interviewed saying, quote, Becca told her mom, hold on, I got somebody to pick me up. This is just something I gotta do. I'm sorry. A black sedan pulled up and she got in. Nobody's heard from her since, end quote. So her fiance is saying.
Believable. Yeah, totally believable.
Her phone was found across the street from her mom's house. Fowler also described him and Rebecca as being inseparable, saying, quote, me and her have been together for a little over 2 years, and even when she's not around me, she's always in contact with me, end quote. So this made her family even more concerned because Rebecca never goes away without her phone or is always using her phone. Sadly, Rebecca's body was found on November 25th in the Manistee National Forest in Michigan, but her baby was not there.
Whoa.
And this is where the case is going to take a very twisted turn. The next day, Rebecca's sister Kimberly and Rebecca's fiance were arrested and later arraigned on several charges, only to be released on bail days later.
The
Then-
sister? I had no idea the sister.
Mm-hmm. Sister and fiance were arrested and then released on bail. Then Park's mother, her biological mom, Courtney, and her stepfather, Bradley Bartholomew, were arrested and charged with her murder on December 1st. Phone data, vehicle movement, and statements from both of them placed them repeatedly near the location where Rebecca's body was found. We also learned that Rebecca's fiance, Richard Fowler, was having an affair with both Rebecca's sister, Kimberly, and their mom, Courtney.
Oh, shut! Oh
Holy
my
shit.
god!
Good grief.
I did not
Yeah, this
expect
is
that
some
one.
white trash shit going on
Holy
here.
Yeah.
shit!
What a
Damn.
mess.
Yeah.
Let's invite the whole family for Christmas for this one.
Oh
I
man,
want
this
to
Yeah.
poor
get these
girl.
people in a
Ugh,
room together. Jesus.
I know. Apparently, Rebecca and Fowler must have broken up at one point, in which he began seeing her mom, Courtney, who was also married, because Rebecca has a stepfather.
Wow.
Courtney was even going to leave her husband for him, but had a change of heart, so he got back together with Rebecca.
Gosh.
We should call this episode "What Should Be on Jerry Springer." Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally. Alright. And Kimberly told investigators she was in a relationship with Fowler on November 24th, the day before her sister's body was found. So her sister's missing, and she starts dating her sister's fiance.
Wow. I do want to point out here, I give the cops props. Her body was found on the 25th. By the 1st, the mom and dad are arrested after
Mhm.
going through all of the driving and like probably tracking cell phone
Yeah.
stuff. I give the police props. They did pretty good work there.
They moved pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Well, it also sounds like the family's very sloppy, so I'm assuming that they probably
Yeah.
weren't very they weren't very good at that doing any of this.
Yeah. Yeah, they all seem pretty stupid.
Yeah, covering up their
That's
tracks
what
is probably not
inbreeding will
on their
do.
radar.
I'm not totally sure what Kimberly's involvement in the murder was, but she was arraigned on charges of tampering with evidence, lying to a police officer, and filing a false report. She is currently on house arrest after being released on December 3rd after posting bail, which was reduced from $750,000 to $5,000.
Just why?
Yeah.
Why was it
Why
decreased
is
that
bail
much?
even an option with this?
I don't know. Fowler was arraigned on 2 counts of delivering methamphetamine with a bail set at $1 million. He was also
didn't see that
released on
coming.
December 3rd after his bail was reduced to also $5,000.
What the meth?
I know. What the meth is going on here?
Yeah.
Goodness.
Per interviews, it seems as though Courtney is the one who cut the baby from her daughter's womb. Then Rebecca subsequently died from her injuries.
So she was alive when they cut the baby
Yeah.
out. Wow. Wow, mother.
And-
Wow.
Yeah. And I did read in one article that she may have still been alive when they left her.
But what was the intent of taking the baby?
Yeah, that's
We're going
good.
to get there.
Okay. All right.
Oh, okay.
Courtney allegedly told investigators that she used a scalpel to remove the fetus and claimed her intention was to save the child and give the baby to Park's fiance.
Saving it from what? The womb?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Let
she
me say
had
again, what the meth?
Yeah, I don't know. She had
Goodness.
previously told police that it was her husband Bradley who killed Rebecca as a form of retaliation against Fowler, who, wait for it, allegedly reported Bradley for violating a condition of his release as a convicted sex offender.
Oh my god.
Because the icing on the cake of this story is Bradley previously received a 180-day sentence for an unspecified violation related to him being on the sex offender registry.
Yeah, that was, I should have seen that coming. I will admit I didn't, but I should have.
So these are the people we're dealing with.
So, yeah, I bet you they live in a trailer too.
100%. 100%.
I bet there's a broken
Yeah.
down car or two in the back.
And it's not a good trailer either.
No.
Yeah.
God.
Because there's some nice ones. There's
Yeah.
some nice,
Yeah.
double wides,
Yeah.
but that's not what they got.
No.
Yeah. No, this is the rundown trailer for sure.
Yeah, this is white trash trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you
Carly-
say what happened to the baby?
We're going to get there.
Oh my gosh, okay, sorry, I'm just gonna shut up now.
Calm down, Steph.
Per the affidavit, Courtney claimed that it was actually Bradley who murdered Rebecca, claiming that he had forced her into a car and stabbed her several times before Courtney began to cut the unborn baby from the womb. Courtney told police the baby was not breathing after being cut out. Then they pushed Rebecca's body down an embankment and covered her with leaves, and that the fetus was placed in a cooler, then a trash bag before being thrown into a dumpster.
Nope.
So you're
Ridiculous.
cutting the baby out to throw it away?
Yeah, so much for saving it.
Yeah, what?
And I did not read anywhere that they have found the baby's body.
Oh, still. Wow, okay. I literally don't even have, like, usually at the end of these, Kirsten, I can give you like a solid theory I might have. I don't know what the end game here was.
I don't think they know what the end game was.
So there is a
They
little
were
bit
just
of a
going
reason
with
as
it.
to why she did this, I guess, but it also doesn't even make sense because then they dispose of the baby anyway. But Courtney claimed that the father of Rebecca's baby was her husband Bradley and not Fowler.
Oh.
But that hasn't been proven.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, like we wouldn't know that.
Investigators discovered text messages Courtney had sent to her sister, so that would technically be Rebecca's biological aunt. So Courtney's texting her sister, claiming to have given birth to a son who was hospitalized due to an early delivery but would be returning home soon. Then she wrote that the child had died just a few hours after Rebecca's murder. So it sounds like she wanted to take this baby as her own, but then they dispose of it anyway.
I mean, that's like, why else are you cutting a nearly fully cooked baby out of somebody's belly?
Right.
Other than you want a baby for yourself. I don't understand why. You know, because like if they just wanted to kill her, they just kill her.
Right.
So they obviously, somewhere in here, somebody is like, I want this baby. There has to be.
Yeah, because I read that she wanted to have a baby, but I think they were having trouble conceiving. Like, she couldn't have her own baby. So she's going to take her biological daughter's baby.
Wow.
Wait.
But she doesn't anyway.
Her own... But you just... Her biological daughter...
Well, she's
mom
40
can't
years
have a
old now, so...
Oh, so she wanted a baby just later in life.
Yeah. She just
Okay.
apparently wants a baby, and this was her way of going about it.
And she could have dealt with just the grandchild.
Right, that's what I don't
That's
understand.
just as good, if not better.
Yeah, it's going to be actively in their life.
Yeah.
Yeah, because her daughter's clearly in her life again.
Yeah, it literally sounds like they could have all just been camping out in that trailer together living, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Courtney and Bradley faced several charges, including 1 count each of first-degree murder, felony murder, torture, conspiracy to commit torture, assault on a pregnant individual causing miscarriage/stillbirth, and conspiracy to commit assault on a pregnant individual causing miscarriage/stillbirth, all of which carry a possible life sentence in prison. They were also charged with 1 count each of unlawful imprisonment and removal of a dead body. They were being held without bail at the Wexford County Jail. So I guess we'll see what happens next when they go to trial.
I'm going to guess maybe they have some information, or they're just assuming that the baby was just like dead as soon as it came out type of thing.
I don't think it was dead when it came out. I think they just disposed of it.
You think so?
But maybe it was still alive. I don't know.
Well, either way,
I also read that
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they also went this route, I guess. Also because I think she also wanted to adopt, but they can't because her husband's on the sex offender registry.
Yes.
So the next best option is to cut a baby out of a womb.
Yeah. But the baby that would have been in their life anyways.
Yes,
yeah,
that they would have had access to anyway. Yes.
Yeah, they could have had the daughter and the granddaughter. Like, I don't know if the daughter and mom were having issues or whatever. And
right, yeah, I didn't read anything about that. I don't know what their relationship was like or how long they had been back in each other's lives for.
I mean, they're obviously, to me, in a close enough or trusting enough, I guess that's a stretch of a word for this situation, but that they somehow got her and did this to her. Like, she trusted them enough to go with them or like get in a vehicle and like
Right.
go to where this happened type of thing. So the relationship must have been at least amicable at this
Right,
point.
yeah. Because they got her to come over.
Yeah.
When they
Yeah.
then like kidnapped her and took her to the woods.
I got a family member that sent me a text right now and said to come over. I absolutely not. So
Yeah.
I feel like,
Delete.
yeah. So I feel like if she actually came over, the relationship is better than what I know. So it's got to be
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes no sense that they could have had both the daughter and the grand.
But yeah, this is a crazy one, so.
Yeah, have
That
you
is a very
heard
crazy story.
that one, Steph? That's the one that's actually been quite active in the news recently.
Mm-hmm.
No, and that's
Yeah.
recent. That's truly recent.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
right around Thanksgiving. So
Yeah.
but that's
Right before,
insane.
Yeah, I was following that one, and I was like, I saw that Kirsten was going to cover that one in our news today, and I was like, good.
Yeah. It just sucks. I mean, it's an intriguing story, but God, does it suck.
Yeah.
Like, I just hate
terrible.
when, innocent people get involved, like babies and whatnot. It's like, if that family wants to sleep with each other and do whatever, so be it, But
Yeah.
good grief, like you didn't have to
Right.
kill
baby.
a daughter, you didn't have to
Yeah.
kill a baby. Like
Mm-hmm.
you could have just had the baby and just, you could fight and have arguments and discussions, but you didn't have to go out of the way. And it's
Right.
unfortunate that the baby didn't even survive. And right
I
now,
know.
no one knows even where it is.
Yeah,
You know.
and that baby was almost a full term. It was
Yeah.
honestly probably a Can you hear that?
Mm-mm.
Okay, good. All right, I'll
Oh,
keep
I
talking.
did hear
She's
a bark.
yeah, she's barking away. God.
It wasn't too bad,
Um,
though.
Yeah.
Okay, good. God damn it, me and my brain. I'm
You were
serious.
saying it was a full-term baby, almost.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Almost a
Steph.
full-term baby.
Thank you. So it was almost like a full-term baby. It really sucks that, and like you said, we don't know the relationship between the family members. We don't even know what the daughter's life necessarily was even like. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
all I can sit here and hope is that maybe she was somebody who was trying to turn her life around. She wanted to raise this baby and have a great old life, and it just really sucks that this selfish woman, who because in her 40s she can't have a baby with her
Mhm.
sex offender husband,
Right.
wants a child in her life and decides then the consequences are both die. So
Why do you
They
want to
make-
bring a
yeah.
child around your sex offender husband? Why are you even married to your sex offender husband?
Good point.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
none of it makes sense.
Yeah. And just to reference the very beginning, you said that the daughter was adopted,
Mm-hmm.
like she was given up for adoption, and then went through that system, and then came back to the biological mother, like after they grew out of the system. Is that correct?
Yeah, they weren't living together, but they had some sort of relationship again.
I wonder if the relationship only started once she found out she was pregnant.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe she somehow found out and reached out to her. I don't know.
Yeah, and then she's like, "Oh, that's my, way in
Mhm.
to having a child," and
Yeah,
then
maybe.
ended up messing it up.
Maybe it was all just selfish to begin with.
It could have been, yeah. But I do find it interesting that both your stories so far were 22 when they died,
Mm-hmm.
and they were both adopted.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I think
true.
that's very interesting.
Yeah.
they were. Yeah, both aged out of the
And-
system. This wonderful
Yeah.
system we have here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we actually covered a story very similar to Rebecca's, Savannah Greywind.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was murdered
Mhm.
by having a baby cut from her womb, and I think she was also about 38 weeks pregnant. She was very close to her due date.
Yeah.
So if you're interested, I think we covered that. I think it was episode 5. If anyone wants to listen to that story, it's terrible, but
It is terrible, but a story that still needs to be told
because
because fuck them too.
she was also young. I think. Do I want to say she was also 22?
She was young.
Wow.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
young.
Yeah,
I
Very
can never
sad.
remember those details.
but her baby survived. Her baby did survive.
Yeah, her baby did survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
good.
don't know
That was-
how with how it was kept,
How?
For the first
Yeah,
days.
that was crazy.
but
Yeah.
it survived.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so go back and check out that episode, guys.
Yeah.
All right. My next news segment, is Malicai Calder. A little over a week before Thanksgiving of 2025, Tesha McQuinn became increasingly worried about her 27-year-old friend Malicai Calder when he wasn't heard from for a few days. They worked together for 3 years at the local Burger King in Toledo, Ohio, and when a mutual friend of theirs became concerned when her usual daily texts to Calder went unanswered, on the 19th, police went to conduct a welfare check at Calder's apartment. When police knocked on the door, they heard a TV playing and shower running, so they just left. Yeah. Calder was officially reported missing by his friend on November 22nd. This caused police to go back and revisit the apartment, finding Calder's car wasn't parked out in front of his apartment. The apartment was located on Sorcerer Road, I believe is how you say it. After Northwood police began helping in the investigation, his car was finally located about 30 minutes away in a Domino's Pizza parking lot. Now, in an article I read, it got a little confusing. They made it sound like that the police found a man in this vehicle that identified himself as Calder, and I guess if this is what happened, they didn't investigate any further and was just like, okay, this is the person who owns this car.
They didn't ask for an ID.
And
Yeah.
I couldn't get any, the way the article worded it was a little bit weird. The way they were wording it was if they actually physically talked to the man in the car, but they didn't say they checked his ID, just word of mouth said, I'm this guy, that I'm Calder.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they just believed him and walked away. If this actually happened, I only found this in one article.
Yeah.
Then 2 days later, the car was located on Mulberry Street. That's why I was unsure about the first one, because then it was located again 2 days later and police went to go talk to him again. So I'm not sure if the first incident actually happened or not. But when they found the car located on Mulberry Street, the police arrested this man that was in the driver's seat this time. And this man was not Calder. He was identified as 32-year-old Martell Huggins. Some of Calder's remains were found in the passenger seat of his vehicle, including his head, which had sustained stab wounds and gunshot wounds.
Oh.
Yeah. His murder is still under investigation. Calder's friends and family remember him as a hard-working man just trying to better himself. Carolina Thomas, the cousin of Calder's, remembers him by saying, quote, Malicai was so bright, such a loved person who would truly do anything and give his last to help others. He recently graduated with his master's. This is truly upsetting to our family.
So did they find the rest of his body?
No, all I found was that, and I didn't even get a list other than the head, that there was just some of his remains found in the passenger seat.
And a head.
We know his head because it said it sustained the stab wounds and gunshot wounds. It didn't say anything else that was I guess standing out as far as wounds go. And it wasn't. It was literally said remains of his body, like pieces of remains of his body, not his full body. Is how I read it in the article.
And that guy was just driving around with a head in the passenger seat.
Yep.
That's so fucked up. Oops, sorry, I don't know if you guys swear on this.
Yeah, we did.
That's really messed up.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
So did they end up arresting that guy then?
Yeah, he is arrested, and then it's still under investigation. At that time, I don't even think they had his official charges written up because I don't know. They probably haven't even proved that he killed him. Do you know what I mean?
Right. And I wonder when he was murdered. Was he the one with the shower running, or did someone else have his shower running? Does he live alone? Did a roommate have the shower running?
The way the articles made it sound is like he was living with people, in this apartment. And so that's why it also made no sense to me. Why did they come to the apartment? Maybe nobody answered the door and they walked away the first time. Or the shower running, maybe whoever lived there with him was in the shower. But it made it sound like he was not alone in this apartment living.
I mean, it's still disturbing that someone would be driving around with a head just
Yeah.
sitting there. So even if
Yeah.
that person didn't kill him, like, what are you doing with the head? Just
Yeah.
sitting there.
Just
You
chilling
know.
in the car.
What,
Yeah.
and with the car, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just took his car. Yeah.
And I wonder what time of the day
Yeah.
that was that they found him. Like, was
Well,
he
and
just
it was,
driving with a head in broad daylight?
I was just saying, I'm
Could have been.
wondering if he was doing it for days. That's what I'm saying. Like,
That's true, yeah.
if they saw him the
Because
first
we don't know
time,
when he
like,
was murdered.
yeah, no, nope.
I don't like that.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have an update in the future for this one that
Yeah.
we get a
Hopefully they
better
find the rest.
background. Yeah, because there wasn't a lot on this one, but it was still crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe this can be a confession, but it's probably going to be drug related. Like, that person was probably high as a
Yeah,
kite or on
maybe.
something and just didn't
Yeah.
Or
realize
drug deal
what
gone
they were
wrong.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, probably maybe homeless and living in the car for the last few days, driving it around type of thing.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, I have Lonene Rogers. 29-year-old Lonene Rogers of Sagertown, Pennsylvania, was reported missing to the Pennsylvania State Police on January 7th, 1981. Her husband, Clinton Rogers, told authorities at the time he and Lonene had an argument the night before her disappearance. Lonene was almost completely deaf and unable to speak fluently. The next morning, he woke to find that Lonene was not home and all of her belongings, such as her purse, hearing aids, glasses, car, and her keys were left behind, including her children, who were 1 and 6 at the time. A severe snowstorm came through the night she disappeared, and none of her friends or family had been in contact with her since the day of her disappearance. Friends and family also reported she never would have left without her children. Numerous searches were carried out with no success. Clinton, her husband, who is also deaf, spoke with PA State Police recently, or I guess signed, with PA State Police recently on November 5th,
I don't mean to laugh
2025.
at that. I guess signed. Hey, disabled here. I can laugh at that one, okay?
He's signed with police, saying, I don't know how you properly say that, saying he and Lonene argued the night before her disappearance because he found messages on their teletypewriter machine between her and another man, allegedly. So he choked her in a fit of rage, but reports he blacked out and doesn't know how long he choked her for. But he wouldn't say what he did with her body. So she went missing in 1981. He's waiting until November 5th, 2025 to tell police this.
So what's his age now?
He's old, 70s or 80s, I want to say.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
He probably got that terminal diagnosis and is clearing some conscience here.
Yeah.
Yep.
And another thing I didn't understand, because he's first talked with police on November 5th, but then he speaks with them again on November 26, 2025, saying he argued with Lonene about her, quote, lying about having relationships with other men, about her having marijuana, end quote. He said Lonene then fell asleep on the couch and he was angry, so angry that he choked her to death on the couch, then carried her to the bedroom where he wrapped her body in a pink blanket. He admitted to putting her body in the bed of his Ford Bronco and driving to a dumpster where he dumped her. But what I don't understand is, so he first spoke with police on November 5th, and then he speaks to them again on November 26th. Why wasn't he kept after he's telling police he choked her in a fit of rage but doesn't know what he did with the body? Or wouldn't say what he did with the body?
Yeah,
Why was he released?
Yeah, if he's admitting he did something,
Right.
you think he would have got arrested right then and there.
Yeah. So I don't understand that part.
That is a good point.
Now, I have no idea how to say this person's name. It's Duiker? Duker?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, go.
I don't know.
Dwiker?
Dwiker? Maybe?
Dwiker?
Yeah. Dwiker, the daughter of Clinton and Lonene, who was only 6 at the time, always believed her father killed her mother. And he wasn't a very good father. The 2 children lived with their father off and on after their mother disappeared. Their daughter is quoted saying, "We would be with him and then we would get taken away by children's services for abuse and neglect. Then he all of a sudden would be a fit parent again, and they'd return us, and then he would do the same, end quote.
Wow, didn't I say earlier how great our system is?
Yeah, that's our system.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sorry, you abuse your child once, you're done. You lost your privileges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same as like I
And they
believe,
didn't
like,
question him then.
right?
Like the
This was in the
police didn't
80s.
question him
Who
then when
knows?
yeah, but if it was growing up, I mean that's 80s and 90s, and that's when people started getting concerned about
Yeah.
their children.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
guess
like,
not
why would the
in
police
Pennsylvania.
not question? Yeah,
But this reminds me of like how you're pointing that out, Steph. The what was her name who got stabbed on the bus, where that man had so much previous history that man should never have really been out on the streets, and then she wound up
Oh.
dead. That this man keeps repeating, having so much bad history that not only are we like they're obviously doing a shit job investigating like what the children are going through, but why are there not red flags of like, hey, he killed his wife, he's a terrible person, like
yeah,
Right.
why are those red
yeah. If you
flags
can
not going
abuse
off?
children, then you can clearly abuse another adult.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
And I
not,
guess
if not
he
kill
wasn't
that
much of a
adult.
suspect. I don't know.
Yeah,
At the
that's
time.
so
That's
that's bad police work on their part.
It
for
is.
Absolutely.
It's always the husband.
that. I know when you
Yeah.
first as soon as you started this and the words she left behind her 1 and 6-year-old, I was like, he did it. In my head, I was like, he did it.
yeah.
The last time she spoke with her father was when she was 14 years old when he dropped her off at the police station. Here, I can't take my kid anymore. Here, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since then, she has been an advocate for her mom to keep her case alive. She hosted rallies and posted billboards about her mom's case. She even contacted private investigations for the missing, which we talked about way back in episode 1. It's the nonprofit organization started by Brianna Maitland's dad, Bruce, to help families of missing loved ones. So I thought that was a cool tie-in that someone here from Pennsylvania is involved in the organization. With the help of private investigator Jeff Walters, PA State Police were able to move the case forward. She thinks her dad confessed now because he was at rock bottom after violating a protection from abuse order for which he served 6 months in prison.
So it's still abusive,
Yes, yeah. She's also quoted saying, I guess he found God recently and said God forgives him. But he said the devil kept coming to him and just bugging him, and I think that's his guilty conscience. One of the things that I feel good about is I feel that my mother is vindicated. This confession, it proves that she, indeed, would never have left her children, that they were the most important thing to her, end quote. Clinton
That should never
Rogers.
been a question.
No, it should not have been.
That should not have been any doubt at all that a mother would leave their children. Then to leave, if you have a hearing issues or a hearing impairment or you're deaf or whatever, to leave your hearing aids behind and your car and your wallet,
Right.
like you wouldn't just
That's all
up and
abnormal.
leave without. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a snowstorm really bad that night. Like, he obviously did it. Like, she is not
Yes.
walking
Yeah,
out.
where
in
would she
that.
have gone?
Nobody did- nobody came
Yep.
crashing in the front door like the Kool-Aid man was like taking the girl out of here,
Absolutely.
like, yeah, he did it.
Clinton Rogers was originally taken into custody in Indiana County, where his most recent residence is documented, but he will face charges in Crawford County. His preliminary hearing was set for December 9th, 2025, but I couldn't find any details about it.
Okay.
So, I mean, he's facing time now, but how many years later?
And also,
Yeah,
it's really
decades.
shitty that
Gosh.
he's going to be doing time because he wound up having to come through and confess to it. It would have never went anywhere with police if he wouldn't have done that.
Right, yeah.
Like...
Yep, and it even took the daughter going to private investigations for the missing. It took that private investigator to push police to keep doing more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why we do
Yeah.
this.
Yes.
Because they do need to do more. Majority of the time, these unsolved cases.
Yeah, and we need to call attention to it.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Well, my last one actually has some similarities to yours that you just did, Kirsten.
Okay.
So Sarah Hunter, 32-year-old Sarah Hunter, was a professional golfer back in the late 1980s. She worked as a golf instructor at Manchester Country Club in Vermont. On September 19th, 1986, her coworker reported her missing when she did not arrive to work. It was 2 months later that her body was found in Paulette, Vermont, in the woods. But police already had their prime suspect of the time. It was 26-year-old David Morrison. He was working at the gas station in Manchester where her car was found parked. However, they had no physical evidence connecting Morrison to Hunter's murder. It only took 2 years, though, before Morrison went to California, and while there, he kidnapped a woman at gunpoint and made her perform sexual acts on him.
Oh.
He was caught and charged with kidnapping, attempted murder, and sexual assault, and he was sentenced to 20 years to life in prison. So now we're going to fast forward here. So he's in prison. In 2012, DNA testing of hairs found in Morrison's vehicle finally connected him to the case. But because of mishandling of this evidence, attorney Erica Marthage, I think it is, had to drop the case in 2015. Marthage grew up in Manchester and was 16 when Hunter went missing. Marthage was crushed to have to drop this case. It took until 2023 when Massachusetts police were investigating Morrison being connected to an attempted kidnapping and also an unsolved missing persons case. So this man's been all over the place.
Yeah.
The Massachusetts police began working with the Vermont police, and it took them 1 year to get a team together and collect enough evidence to go and talk to Morrison out in California. One of the investigators, named Thomas True, was one of the original investigators on Hunter's homicide case. He came out of retirement only for this interview, and Morrison would only talk to Thomas. This is what Morrison confessed about that night with Hunter. She stopped at the gas station Morrison just happened to be working at that night for some cigarettes. He allegedly tied her up and locked her in a back room. He then stabbed her multiple times and then disposed of her body. Morrison also confessed to and pled guilty for kidnapping 15-year-old Laura Sheridan in 1981. She was walking home when Morrison offered her a ride, but of course he didn't take her home. She luckily escaped when they had stopped at a rest stop off of Route 7. She was interviewed by reporters stating, quote, "I'm a really lucky person. I am grateful that I spent 20 minutes with David Morrison and no more," end quote.
Yeah, I'm glad she got away.
Yeah. And was brave enough. I mean, 15 and someone's kidnapping you, I can imagine. So here's where this kind of reminds me of your case. Now 65-year-old, and it's 39 years later in Vermont on December 9th, 2025, Morrison pled guilty to Sarah Hunter's murder and will be more than likely living out the remainder of his life in Vermont with his life sentence there instead of California.
Good.
A quote from attorney Marthage after getting justice says, quote, "When I dismissed this case in 2015, I thought there were no way in hell this case was coming back. But here we are."
Good.
Yeah, so I thought he confessed to it. You know, it was 37 years later he finally confessed to killing her. So it kind of reminded me of your case. That guilty conscience.
Definitely. Oh, I'm glad they're coming forward. I guess better late than never.
But
I guess
he was already in jail this entire time, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, why don't you just confess during that time? Like, why sit in jail for 30-some years and not say, by the way, instead of waiting until all this time? Like, that just, I mean, I'm glad that
maybe he's in poor health and guilty conscience.
Yeah, but you're already in jail. Like,
yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's his deathbed confession.
Yeah, it could be.
And I'll say, I hate that that's how sometimes we get the answers, but I'd rather those answers than none at all.
Yeah, then none. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I'd rather catch the motherfucker. You stupid idiot. I caught you because I caught you with your pants down because it's fucked up, you know? You know, instead of coming through and just like confessing to it, like,
Mhm.
you know, oh, you caught me. No, I want to
Yeah.
lay it
Well, I
down
mean-
on you.
Well, it sounds like they did catch him in 2015. It's just,
Yeah,
that's
true.
everything kind of,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So they
don't
were
know if
close.
he's mishandling that, like it couldn't be upheld in court then, whatever their findings were. But I mean, court is so confusing anyway, I would have no idea. But it
Yeah.
sucks that
Yeah,
they had the smoking gun, it sounds like, you know, like
yeah,
of DNA, and then it wound up that they couldn't even use it in court. So,
Yeah, that stinks.
yeah.
yeah.
All right, last case is the Pageant Queen Murder Trial. A former Georgia beauty pageant winner, Trinity Pogue, 20 years old, has been sentenced to life in prison for killing her boyfriend's 18-month-old son.
What? 18
Yeah.
months old.
Mm-hmm. And if you see pictures of her, the comments on Facebook were ruthless. For this case.
Let me tell you.
They're like, what beauty pageant? Like, there must have been no other contestants.
Yes. I do sometimes love the internet.
I know. Yeah, you'll have to read the comments. It was, I was dying. But they were funny. But she held the title of Miss Donaldsonville.
Mhm.
Okay.
The baby's murder was driven by resentment. Pogue's boyfriend, Julian Williams, and his son, Jackson Drew, who went by Romeo, were visiting Pogue at her Georgia Southwestern State University dorm on January 13th, 2024. He left her alone with his son for about 30 minutes while he went to Walmart for pizza and drinks. The baby was unresponsive on his return and taken to Phoebe Sumter Hospital in Americus, where he later died despite life-saving efforts. Poe claimed he fell from a bed or chair, but according to the medical examiner, the baby suffered a massive brain bleed and skull fracture, which could not have resulted from a simple fall. The injuries indicated blunt force trauma. The university police asked the GBI, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, to look into the case, and they arrested Pogue on charges of aggravated battery, felony murder, and first-degree cruelty to children. She was booked into the Sumter County Jail without bond. Other students in the dorm reported hearing a child crying for a long time until it suddenly stopped.
Mhm.
Let
The
me
GBI.
tell you.
Go ahead.
I'll beat a bitch. How can you just
Mm-hmm.
beat an 18-month-old in the face? Like,
Right? That's really a baby
Absolutely.
yeah, meet me outside.
still. Yes.
Jesus. Ugh.
The GBI found text messages Pogue sent to her roommate stating about the baby, quote, "He hates me and I hate him."
Wow, mother
hate a
of the
baby?
year. Yeah.
She wanted to have her own baby with her boyfriend and didn't want to deal with the child he had with someone else.
Oh, good grief.
So punching it in the face is the answer?
Killing it, yep.
Yep. Wow, bitch. I want to
I'm a
know
bit
what the
speechless, to be honest. Like, I'm
She's
just
really
like that
ugly
one.
on the inside and outside.
And it's like, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
beauty queen where, bitch? Like,
Yeah, fuck out of
Yeah.
here. She was handed a life sentence plus an additional 20 concurrent years on December 5th, 2025. And it was funny because I watched a clip of it on Court TV of the sentencing. And for the first offense, the judge read not guilty. So her and her family like start to cry in
Yeah.
relief. And then they read guilty for the rest.
yes, get that bitch's
It
hopes
was
up
so
and just
funny.
crush her. Just,
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
yes.
I don't even remember what the first charge
Good.
was, but yeah. But she was guilty for the rest of them.
Wow. Stupid bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, have fun in
Just
prison for the
because
rest
you
of your
wanted
life,
a
bitch.
child and you didn't want to deal with another child. Yeah.
Yeah.
If he
I was with that
if he,
today. That's
like,
the
if
theme
the
with it.
timeline was true that he had only left for 30 minutes, she had this in her head. Do you know what I mean? She had to have been thinking about it before he had even left that she's
Oh,
going to
yeah,
do
that's
this
what
to
she
this child.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Yeah.
gone for 30 minutes, and then, I don't know. I don't know where her brain was at. He's coming back, girlfriend. What do
Yeah.
you think?
And I also think it's stupid when people are like, "Oh,
Right,
the
I
child
know.
fell."
And she even called him
Yeah,
on his way
they're
back,
lying
too.
that the child fell. They're
Mhm.
in cahoots together.
Yeah. Yeah, because it said blunt force trauma, so, like, I don't know what she
It is.
used.
Well, the thing is, like, if she did end up having a child, would she have gotten as frustrated or, in anger and then beat that child as well? Like, I don't think it's just because it's someone else's. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. It's clearly she has dinner.
And also, if you want to love somebody enough that you want to procreate with them, how about you love whatever they've already
Yeah.
created?
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
You can still
it's
have
a
your
whole
own child
package
with
when
them.
you're getting in a relationship with somebody who is coming with another child. Like, I don't know. What
Yeah.
do you think? You're just gonna, like, I don't ride this wave till the kid's 18 and gets out of the house? Like, no, it's for life
Yeah.
here, guys. You know?
Mm-hmm. And her pageant
The
title did
last
get
dig.
reversed.
Yeah, take that,
Yeah.
bitch. Stupid hoe. Yeah. It was,
I don't know how she won
it
it.
was probably a blind judging panel.
Maybe.
That's funny.
Okay. So that's our news, right? All right, that's our news. All right. Well,
Yeah,
I hope you guys
the
enjoyed.
news.
Steph, I hope you
I
enjoyed
did.
this
Very
news
sad
segment.
and very cruel stories, but they were good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to remind
Yeah,
you
some
how
shocking
shitty
ones
the
this
world
month.
still is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only getting worse.
It's only getting
Job
worse.
security. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't think you'll ever get away from telling stories. I mean, that's always going to happen, no matter what. So.
No.
And I feel like there will always be ones
Yeah.
that are unsolved or need that extra help.
Yeah.
You know, to get it out there. So.
Mm-hmm.
Make Like a Shadow and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at
Lurking in the Shadows podcast.
check us out on TikTok at
If we get unbanned, Lurking in the
Oh, yeah.
Shadows pod.
any questions, concerns, or case suggestions, shoot us an email at
Lurking in the Shadows podcast at gmail.com. Yeah, and keep lurking around for our next episode. Bye.
Bye.